Good morning again, and welcome. Can you believe it's already Ash Wednesday? Beginning of Lent? And I feel I've only just finished the bottle of wine that I was given for Christmas. Time has gone so quickly. So I was coming back from Vinnie's yesterday and pulled into a coffee shop to get a bit of sustenance to get me across the park and up the hill in that 37 degree heat. And while I was having my coffee, I got an inspiration about what I might give up for Lent. And I thought, if I give up something that's too sort of common, I'll only heap buckets of Catholic guilt on myself because I won't carry it out. So what I decided I would do this Lent, I will abstain from all Taylor Swift concerts. Make sense? So then looking at Lent, 40 days. And I was wondering, why do all the authors refer to 40 days? And I was looking back through the scriptures, and I started with Noah. The heavens rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And so we had a whole transition between a world of sin and evil and a new beginning symbolized by the dove with the olive branch of peace. And you have 40 days and 40 nights in between that, like a time of preparation, what we might call a liminal time. And then we had something similar with Moses. After he killed the Egyptian and he fled to Madian, where he worked for 40 years before he had the experience of the burning bush and came back to Egypt and led his people to freedom. So there was that whole time of 40 years of reflection, of planning, of thinking, of growing. And then the Israelites, of course, had 40 years in the desert. 40 years again of preparing this people to live not as slaves, but as free people. There was a whole time of a liminal time of walking and thinking and growing. And part of that growing was the covenant with God. And Moses went up the mountain for 40 days to be with God and to come to understand what it would mean for his people to live as a covenant people. And then, of course, we have Jesus. Between his baptism and his public mission, ministry, there's these 40 days in the desert. And the baptism was, I think, is somewhat of an underrated experience in Jesus' life. Because not only had he offered himself for a greater relationship with God by receiving the baptism of John, but he also came to know himself as being filled with the same Spirit that is in God, the Holy Spirit. But besides that, he hears a voice, or he comes to know that he is the beloved Son of God. And hence, if he is the beloved Son, which is sufficiently wow, God is thereby not just the Creator, Liberator, Protector God, but also Abba, the loving God, the loving Father. And with this sort of experience, profound religious experience, the Spirit he's received drives him into the desert, according to Mark, where he has 40 days to ponder, to reflect on, to appreciate, to discern what it means for him to be this beloved Son of this loving God whom he comes to call Abba, Daddy, Papi, and what it means to live in this Spirit of God. And at the other end of that 40 days, it is the Spirit that drives him, leads him into beginning his public ministry back in Galilee. But of course, you and I are also baptized, or most of us anyhow. And so we also have received that same Spirit. We also are sons and daughters of this loving God, whom we will come to know better and better as Daddy, Pop, Pa. And so what are we going to do with these 40 days that are now offered between now, Ash Wednesday, and the great celebration of Easter? We have 40 days to reflect, 40 days to appreciate, 40 days to appropriate the incredible dignity, beauty, richness that we've been given gratuitously. So I pray that this time be for us a time of growth, a time of deepening, a time of getting closer to the God who loves us so much. Okay? So finally, once again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, will you? And have a great week. God bless.